please welcome to the stage, Mike Carrion.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Happy Friday. We made it, and I just realized right here, right now, that instead of streaming to our Twitch account as well as our YouTube account, we're on the Team Hold So Rare account. So we're simulcasting the two YouTubers. And you know what? That's what we do here. We're multifaceted. We're able to reach a large mass of people through multiple YouTube accounts. Hope everybody had a nice little Thursday. Hey, March Madness is here. All right. March Madness is here. We're not going to talk too much college basketball, but I will say we did mention John Boy Beats thread yesterday, right at the top of the show. We did a nice little ad read that John ended up tweeting out. It was not an official sponsorship, but JBB went 13-4 yesterday, which is insane. That is a crazy heater. Started the day, I think 7-0. Finished strong last night too. So a lot of fun if you were sweating that. I had a really nice time. I had a nice little Thursday, guys. We did the morning show yesterday. I shot a couple videos for Underdog, and then I watched a ton of basketball. Yeah, and we do have an Armenia shirt. Absolutely. But we're not going to talk too much about college basketball, except for who I am calling Frat Damon, who the Oakland, what's his name, John Crikey or Crikey, John Crutch, I don't know his name. He had 10 threes. He went 10 for 20 as Oakland beat Kentucky last night. It was great. It was great. But Frat Damon, I would have accepted. He looks like the guy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine who plays Amy's ex-boyfriend, who's like really into Pilsners. I was also calling him Jason Reborn. I was having a good time last night. No one else was enjoying it, but I was enjoying it. Bad hair. Yeah, no, he's got real 1988 cop energy. But speaking of cop energy, who do we got in the chat this morning? We got Sneeps up in here. Let's go, Sneeps. Snoopaloop's back from vacation. Happy National Goof Day. Sorry, it's cold again. It's freezing here today too, man. It is cold. I'm done with that. Happy birthday to the Mantis, Sean Bradley and Johnny Conchar, says Common Man. Ted says interfering with proper bus controls. Ted, what are we talking about this morning? What's going on, Ted? Where are you right now? Are you driving a bus? What's happening? Weisberg's up in here. We got airplane mode. T-Man. Yeah, Mark, we're talking some magic today. We got CC Bus. Let's go. Who else? Lewis is here. Talented Mr. Shitface. Wow. Snoopaloop went 12-5 yesterday. There you go. That's good. Yeah, we'll look at some more bets. Real quick, off the top. Today's show presented to you by IKB. We introduced that partnership yesterday. Very excited about it. If you haven't created an account yet, go ahead and do it. We're going to drop this link into the chat right now. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. So we're back over here. We're going to build a lineup here at the end of the show. Also, one thing I didn't talk about yesterday, we did mostly drafts. They also have pick'ems over there, so we'll take a look at a pick'em. We might do our pick'em over there today. So go sign up for that if you haven't had a chance to yet. And again, we're going to have a couple of IKB specials for you next week. We're going to have on Monday, we're going to have a pick'em special for you. And then on Friday, we're going to have that free roll contest that we were talking about. So there you go. And a little bit more business before we get cooking here. Live before lock today is at 5:30 p.m. and then live after dark on the So Rare channel as well for those VIPs. And no, excuse me, no F1 today, no team hold racing. My schedule got a little funky in the afternoon, so I'm not able to do it. Lewis, that's the thing, baby. You can sign up wherever you like. Yeah, you can sign up. You can sign up. International is fine. It's actually because it's done via cryptocurrency. It's actually easier for international users to sign up. So go ahead and create it. Ted, I'm forced to always. Ted, what's going on? What's going on, bro? Is this Sneeps? This might be Sneeps again. All right, let's get into some of the basketball last night. We had two things happen in the same game. Orlando Magic, they just keep winning games. The Magic just keep winning games. They took down the not the Indiana Pacers. They took down the New Orleans Pelicans last night. Paolo Banchero, who made the thumbnail today, he made the cover of it. He wasn't in the Canvas streets breaking it down. Paolo had a triple-double last night, 20 points, 11 boards, 10 dimes. Franz Wagner had 18. Jalen Suggs had 22. Zion had another solid game, 20 and 7. But the real story here is Brandon Ingram got hurt. Still looking, waiting to see. I didn't see like any X-ray related stuff or any information that came out about Ingram, but I hope that it was just like a hyperextension. That's kind of what it looked like. It didn't look like a tear or anything like that. But it looks like a hyperextension. Hopefully he's back. We the people said, how did the pick 'em do? Well, I wouldn't say it did bad. It didn't win though. We'll take a look at that in a little bit. Yeah, Trey Murphy is about to cook. But yeah, so I want to, I mean, I know the Pelicans losing Ingram as they're trying to chase down the 4 seed right now is definitely brutal. But I want to focus on Orlando right now because Orlando, their record is 42 and 28. So what's that? Is that 70 games? So they got 12 games left. They're 8 and 2 in their last 10. They've won 5 in a row. Orlando straight up has a shot at winning 50 games. Right? Like that's wild. And you look at the rest of their schedule, they've got it's not the easiest, but they got the Kings, Warriors, Clippers, but then Grizzlies, Portland, New Orleans, Charlotte, Chicago, Houston, 2 against Milwaukee, 1 against Philadelphia. It's just kind of wild to see what they've been doing here. And I mean, I was pretty high on Orlando, like, yeah, they'd be a fun 6 seed. Maybe they make the play in and then get into their first taste of the playoffs. But like right now, they are straight up in the 4 seed. They, with the Knicks dropping a game to Denver, which we'll talk about in a little bit, they're now a half game ahead of the Knicks, and they've got a 1 game lead on the win column while being tied in the loss column. It's like, this is huge. Because that's home court advantage, right? The same conversation we're having with the Clippers and the Pelicans. Now Orlando's in there. And I don't know like what the ceiling is for Orlando to get in a playoff run. Like the Knicks have been so banged up and are still hanging around. But if OG Anunoby comes back, if Julius Randle comes back, and they're able to, now Josh Hart's only playing 38 minutes instead of 48 minutes, they might have a more realistic shot at moving into the second round. However, the one thing I will say, and we talked about this with Minnesota a little bit, which I know it's not the same comparison, but like defense is one of the things that travels into the playoffs, right? If it's a team, like you see it in March Madness too, where like BYU versus Duquesne yesterday, where those Mormons like to chuck threes, right? They get them on up. And that's sometimes, live by 3, die by 3. That doesn't always translate into playoff basketball. High flying offenses, sometimes everything slows down in these big games. And the defense is something that will travel. And so with Orlando being one of the better defensive teams in the league, I do think they'll be able to play in a lot of close games. Nez, yeah, hashtag our magic. But I think they're going to be able to hang tough. I still think I would take the Knicks against the Magic in a playoff seed. But listen, why stop at the 4 seed? Ever think about that? They're only a game and a half behind Cleveland. In Cleveland, who's been battling so many injuries, right? I mean, granted, they're getting these like crazy 2020 games from Jared Allen and Karis LeVert's turned into John Stockton. Cleveland's upcoming schedule, they have Minnesota and Miami. Both are going to be tough games depending on which Miami team shows up. Then they got 2 against Charlotte, Philly, Denver, then Utah, and then it's Phoenix, Lakers, Clippers, Grizz, Pacers, Charlotte. So it's not a guaranteed situation where they can't catch the 3 seed. So, and now then you're talking about playing either Miami in the playoffs in the first round or the Pacers or the Sixers, right? Because they're all bunched up right now. So I just think it's funny. The Celtics and the Bucks clearly to me and to the world seem to be like the 2 best teams in the East, right? And there seems to be a considerable gap between 1 and 2. I think there's a decent sized gap between 1 and 2, but then there's a massive gap, I think, between 2 and everybody else, even though the Bucks kind of had a weird one last night against the Nets. But that like 3 through 8, honestly, 3 through 9, I'm going to throw the Chicago Bulls in there too. I think the Bulls could be feisty. I know I've been dying on that hill lately, but anyways, I just want to give Orlando a little bit of love here. I'm excited for them to make the playoffs. I think it's going to be fun. We're going to have some really fun first round matchups in the East and the West. All right, next up, we had the Wizards. The Wizards beat the Kings. What the fuck is going on? I mean, I know the Kings are on a back-to-back, but come on, what's happening here? You want to here's the starting 5 for the Washington Wizards last night. You had, I don't know how tall they were. I was going to start doing the like little Chicago Bulls. They had freaking Jordan Poole played 36 minutes, scored 14 points. Rashawn Holmes, he had 16 boards for him. He played 29 minutes. Kuzma, Kispert, Denny, and then Anthony Gill off the bench, balling, playing dudes named Jared Butler, Johnny Davis, Justin Champagne, and then the sandwich himself, Patrick Baldwin Jr. So I don't know how you lose this game, man. I don't know how you lose this team. Wizards win 109-102. And then Sacramento, a team that is like trying so hard to not be in the play-in game. You lose this game. It's brutal. Sabonis had 14, 14, and 6, which is what killed our pick'em last night, we the people. Fox, shout out to Aaron Fox. We're going to look at my underdog best ball squad, but we got a shot at getting through into the finals, and it's because of De'Aaron Fox dropping 6 steals on him after going 25, 5, and 5. Monk had 20 and 4, but it was Sneeps. Open your ears, Sneeps. It was the Coos who had 31 points, 6 boards, 5 dimes for the Wizards, leading them. Denny with a solid 17 and 9 too. Nothing really to like talk about here except for the fact that the Kings lost. And so with the Kings losing, the Dallas Mavericks are now out of the play-in game. I know they were tired from a back-to-back, but here's the thing. You only got a handful of games left. Don't lose to the Wizards. Can't lose to what? Can't make Kyle Kuzma look like Jordan. That's what they were doing. He was cooking in that first half. He was out of control. All right, no more. We don't need to talk about that game anymore. Chicago and Houston, battle of the 2 teams that probably wish the season started in January. 2 teams are just balling. Rockets are on a tear right now, by the way. So they win this game. Shout out Dylan Brooks and DeMar DeRozan. DeRozan, who is in 25% of my underdog drafts, got ejected for double tech there with Dylan Brooks. Both guys were tossed. That's fun. Thanks, guys. Rockets win this one 127-117. Vucci had a double-double. He had 16 and 14, but it was Ayo. Ayo dropped 35. Talk about a heater. The Jalen Green of Chicago, Ayo Dosunmu, just on a tear right now. Brooks had 23 before he was ejected. Jalen Green's continuing to play good basketball. He had 26 and 4. And then Jacques Landale had a double-double. He had 17 and 12. But ready for this Houston Rockets run right now? They have won 7 in a row, 9 and 1 in their last 10. And we kept talking about Houston catching the Lakers. Well, what's up, Bay Area bros? They're right on your heels right now. Now, they're probably not going to catch the Warriors, but they're straight up only 2.5 games back behind the Warriors, 3 games back from the Lakers. And so, I just almost knocked my computer over. But if we look at the Warriors' upcoming schedule, my mic's still working, right? So the Warriors down the stretch here, they have the Pacers, the Timberwolves, the Miami Heat, the Orlando Magic. Then they get a Charlotte-San Antonio situation. Then it's Dallas, Houston, Dallas, Utah, Lakers, Portland, New Orleans, Utah. So, Warriors have a lot of games left. How many of those are back-to-backs? They got 1 back-to-back, 2 back-to-backs, 3 back-to-backs. No, 3 back-to-backs left. And the Rockets are right there. They are right there. And we look at so they have, Houston has 1 game left against Golden State, which is pretty interesting because if this does get a little closer, shout out Neo, closer, then we might be looking at like Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Jonathan Buckets not playing in the play-in game. So Houston down the stretch here, again, 9 and 1 in their last 10. You ready for this schedule? Utah, Portland. So we might be looking at a 9-game win streak. Then they get OKC, but then Utah again. Then Dallas, Minnesota, Golden State, Miami, Dallas, Orlando, finishing up with Utah, Portland, Clippers. So the Warriors probably make it. They probably make it. Yeah, they've got the tiebreaker, but Weisberg, if Houston beats Golden State in their head-to-head, does that flip the tiebreaker? But yeah, listen, I think I was listening to the Low Post yesterday, and this was before Houston won last night, that the Rockets had a 15% chance of getting to the play-in. So you're saying there's a chance. But yeah, it does not. Okay. Anyway, so good win for Houston. Chicago lost this one. Yeah, they do have a solid squad. Shout out Kobe White. Shout out Io from the Bear. All right, let's keep going. We got through 3 games so far. I was talking about the Milwaukee Bucks in a weird one. The Nets were beating them in the fourth quarter. It was a weird game for them. I got to take a fat L myself because I was pretty confident that Giannis wasn't going to play yesterday. So was drafting a lot of Dame time, which that actually worked out, but also a lot of Bobby Portis, which did not work out. The Bucks win this one, 115-108. Mikal Bridges, once every 5 games, scores over 20 points. That was last night. He had 24 and 6. Sorry, Nick Claxton. Ooh, he had 22 and 9. Cam Thomas had 21 and 6. But Dame with a big double-double. He had 30 and 12. Yeah, with people, I'm with you, man. I'm not buying. I do still think they're the second best team in the East, but I'm not buying them. I don't know. I'm just not buying it yet. But anyways, Dame with big double-double. And then Giannis did end up playing. He made his return. He looked a little rusty, but then showed up in the fourth quarter when they needed him. He finished with 21, 9, and 5. Milwaukee gets the W there. Again, they're so far back, so it's not really a concern of them. They're 10.5 games back from the Celtics. And they now, which I think is a little bit more important, they have a 1.5 game lead over the Cavs. And I do think they want to hold on to that 2 seed because, one, it guarantees them home court in the second round. But I think you're probably more excited at of playing the 7 seed than the 6 seed, right? Assuming that Miami catches the Pacers for that 6 seed, I think you'd want to have a matchup against the Pacers. Although that being said, Pacers have kind of had the Bucks number this year, but that was a different Pacers team. All of those games came before January, so. But anyways, good win for Milwaukee. They're now 6-4 in their last 10. Again, like clearly not catching the 1 seed. All right, Mavs had a really solid performance last night, 113-97. I felt like they let the Jazz hang around a little bit longer than they needed to. Luka, let's get the drop in, baby. Let's get some Luka magic drop in. Luka magic. Yeah, Weisberg says the thing with the Bucks is their defense has regressed a bit relative to that stretch in February. Yeah. Do you think it's because they didn't play the Hornets twice in a week and then the Wizards? You know what I mean? And the Blazers? Like, they went on a crazy run. They were playing JV teams. But anyways, this is a good win for Dallas, especially as they're doing everything they can to stay out of that play-in and get that 6 seed, right? So look at 34, 9, and 8. Also dropped 4 steals. And also shout out Common Man. I think Common Man shouted out Daniel Gafford in the chat yesterday about to eat up Utah, and he did. He had 24 and 7. Kyrie didn't really have a stat-filling game, but a really cool highlight of Luka throwing Kyrie an alley-oop, which I feel like we only see Kyrie dunk like 2 or 3 times a year, and that was a pretty good one. Ooh, Jump Shooting in the chat. What's up, Jump Shoot? Good morning. Lauri Markkanen played in this game. He dropped 21. Keontae had 18 and 5, and then the Sexton himself, Colin, had 25 and 4. But again, so Dallas now just percentage points ahead of the Suns. Right now, they're both 41 and 29. They own the tiebreaker. And this is going to come down to the stretch, right? So they're both 41 and 29. The Kings, who we already talked about, are 40 and 29. So they're only a half game back, tied in the loss column. We'll look at strength of schedule here in a second after we get through the rest of the games. But that was big time win for them. Yeah, Jump Shoot said, are you watching both chats? Yeah, I addressed this at the top of the show. Can't believe I'm streaming on Team Hold So Rare as well. If you're subscribed to Team Hold Live, but not Team Hold So Rare, go subscribe, and vice versa. But yeah, all the chat comes into the same place, so I can see it all. But anyways, good win for Dallas there. We got 2 games left. Denver beat the Bing Bong Boys. Denver missed Denver smoked a 113-100. Jokic was just on one, dude. Jokic does it so easily, man. 30, 14, and 11. Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. Lizzie, he's going to get a little bit more love. I mean, obviously, he's not going to win most improved or anything like that, but Michael Porter Jr.'s last like 10 games. I'm going to actually look up StatMuse right now because I know we did this like last week or something, but Michael Porter Jr.'s last 10 games. What are his averages here? He's averaging 20 and 7. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, almost 21 points and 6 boards in his last 10. But I look 31 last night, 26 the night before, 20 the night before, 25 a couple nights ago. Yeah, Porter Jr. has been cooking. Also, Danny Boy in the chat. Let's go, Danny Boy. But yeah, just absolutely cooking out there. And again, that's what makes this team so dangerous. That if you have like Michael Porter Jr. as your third option with the two-man game of Murray and Jokic, it just takes pressure off Michael Porter Jr. It also takes pressure off Aaron Gordon, and KCP, Peyton Watson, whatever. You just need like one of those guys to pop. Just don't know who beats him. I was listening to No Dunks talk about it. I just don't know who beats him 4 times out of 7, you know? And then the last game of the night, Phoenix Suns. Brunson had 26 and 9. Hartenstein had 20 and 8. I don't think there's anything too much to take away from the Knicks. Like, I wouldn't freak out about this. Denver's obviously a better team than New York, but New York's also without Randall, without OG. It's hard to like get a real feel for them. Hopefully they're both back soon. I think this is a little concerning because we're only like a couple weeks away from the play-in action. And then that last game of the night, Atlanta, A-Town down. Was staying close to Phoenix for a little while. I was like, oh my God, is Phoenix really going to screw this up? DeJounte was on one in the first half. It's the first quarter specifically. He had 30 fantasy points in the first quarter. Finished the game with 29, 10, and 9. DeAndre Hunter had 22 and 4. Suns outscored him by like 11 or 12 in the fourth quarter, and that sealed the deal. Capella 13 and 10. Book had 30 and 4. They got 21 off the bench from Eric Gordon. KD, again, like another weird game, had 19 and 4, but whatever. They get the W, so we're not going to look into it too much. But let's go over to Tankathon to look at the remaining strength of schedule here. Also, Weisberg with a Porter Jr. clip. What do you say? MPJ shooting 42% from 3 over that span, but also makes sense for a guy who shoots when it's past him. Yeah, he does get shots. Yeah, and Grayson Allen has been awesome last night. All right, let's go look at let's blow this up a little bit more. Okay, so Phoenix now has the toughest schedule the rest of the way. And like I said, so Phoenix and Dallas right now have the same exact record at 41 and 29 with and they're Dallas technically in the 6th seed, Phoenix in the 7th seed, and then the Kings are in the 8th seed right now, and they've played one less game than both of the Suns and the Mavericks and have one less win, but are tied in the loss column. So here we go. This is what the Suns have left. They have 1 against OKC, 1 against Denver, 2 against Minnesota, 2 against the Clippers, 2 against the Pels, 1 against the Cavs, and 2 against the Spurs. And this is what's brutal for Phoenix, right? I think in years past, like you're like, oh, we got Denver twice or Denver once. Okay, whatever. You look at that and you're like, well, they're locked into whatever seed they're locked into. And so maybe you get an OKC rest game or you get a Denver rest game. The problem they're running into, though, is that that's not happening, right? Because OKC and Denver right now are both tied. They're both tied for first. OKC is percentage points ahead of Denver. Minnesota's just a game and a half back from them. And then you look at that 4-5 seed, the Clippers and Pels are still pretty close. So there's no like gimme games in that. And like everybody's going to be trying down the stretch. So Phoenix with the toughest schedule of those 3, but Sacramento's right behind them where they have the Celtics once, the Thunder once, the Clippers once, the Magic. God, I have an ESPN playing an ad in my ear right now. I feel like I'm having a seizure. Sorry. What did I say? I left off with the Magic once and then the Knicks, but then they have 3 games against Blazers, Nets, and Jazz. And then you scroll down, and where's Dallas at? Dallas only has 1 against OKC, 2 against the Kings, which I saw Common Man point out. That's pretty much going to decide things, right? If they split 1-1, who knows? But if one of those teams wins both games, that's a wrap. They've got 1 against the Heat, 2 against the Warriors. But then you look, 1 against the Pistons, 1 against the Hornets, 1 against the Jazz, 1 against the Hawks, 2 against Houston, although the Houston ones are no longer easy. So it is going to be a fight down the stretch. I don't know. Does the chat, do you guys have did you guys cover that at all? I mean, did you guys have any thoughts on it? Like who you think lands in the 6th seed of those 3 teams? I think I lean Dallas right now. Yeah, Weisberg, I talked about it earlier. I'm waiting to see the Ingram stuff, right? I'm waiting to see if we get any reports, because I'm hoping it's just a hyperextension and he misses like a week or something like that. That's what I'm hoping, anyways. It kind of reminded me of that Giannis injury. Remember that Giannis injury against the Hawks in like the Eastern Conference Finals, and I think he missed like a half or something like that, or maybe a game and a half. I forget what it was, but that's kind of where I'm at. Mavs take fifth. Comment, do you think they have enough time left to catch that though? Like, so the Pels are still up a game and a half, and looking at the Pels' strength of schedule here, I mean, they do have the Celtics, Thunder, Bucks, Magic, Suns twice, and Kings. Yeah, that's interesting. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see what that injury looks like. I don't know. I still kind of lean the Pels are just so deep. I mean, I know Ingram is a really important part to the Pelicans ceiling, right? Like if the Pelicans are going to win a playoff series, they need BI. But they are just so deep. Like we the people saying Trey Murphy, Herb Jones is back. They still have CJ who can take on more of it. All right. Keith says Dallas is in the 60. They're playing their best ball all year and still waiting for PJ to start hitting shots. Yeah, I mean that's let's talk about fucking PJ Washington. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about PJ Washington. PJ Washington. PJ Washington. I saw a jump shoot said, when are the Celtics going to start sitting guys? They've already started it. I mean, they've been rotating guys in. Like Drew Holiday's missed a couple games. Porzingis missed a week. Tatum sat one. Jaylen Brown sat one. They're all questionable tonight against Detroit. We're going to see the Celtics do this every single game. Like you're going to see 5 guys be questionable heading into the day, and then like throughout the day, 2 of those guys are going to sit. It's going to happen. But yeah, they do need, if PJ starts knocking down shots, it does change the trajectory of this team. But ever since they moved Lively to the bench, like Lively's played better, but Gafford's also been playing great too. So let's see. What do we have for tonight's action? What do we got for today? So Friday. We got Celtics and Pistons. Ooh, can't wait. OKC and Toronto. Get ready for a Chet Holmgren monster game against Toronto. Unfortunately, this will also probably be a blowout. We got Pellies in the Heat. That's actually going to be kind of interesting. Zion should just crush, I would imagine, because there's no Ingram. We also have Cleveland at Minnesota, which is going to be spicy, right? The last time we had this game, Rudy got fined $100,000. Memphis at San Antonio, Jaren Jackson Jr. versus Wembanyama. We got and then the 10 o'clock games, we got a couple of them. We got Indiana and Golden State. We've got the Clippers against Portland. We'll see if Harden closes out on Kawhi again, and then the Sixers against the Lakers. One note on the Harden thing, because we had an Instagram short just popped the fracker off yesterday. But one note about the Harden thing, I saw, and for those that don't know, there was a play against the Clippers against the Portland the other night, where Harden drives to the lane, kicks it out to Kawhi in the corner, and then immediately closes out, puts a hand up to defend Kawhi. Kawhi misses the 3. They get the rebound. He hits Coffee in the corner. Coffee knocks down a 3. Harden talked about it after the game. He was like, yeah, I just didn't like the vibe. I didn't like the vibe the Clippers have had. They've been in a fog lately. Just trying to have some fun. I got to tell you, I'm kind of into it. Like, I think if I was a Clippers fan, I'd be a little bit more freaked out about it. But as someone on the outside, I'm here for it. He was like, listen, in my leadership development experience and background, I looked around. I saw we were a little funky. Got to keep them on their toes. Have a little fun. Live a little. And he blocks or attempts to block his own guys. Now, I got a question, though. From a fantasy perspective, if James Harden got a hand on Kawhi's shot when Kawhi went up, does that count as a block? Can you block your own teammate and get a stat for it? My guess is no. But it's something to think about. If it didn't, or does that count as a turnover? Because it's going to count as something, right? Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, let's go over to Underdog. We're going to do a quick ad read here. We'll find a pick'em. We're going to go over to our new presenting sponsor, IKB, as well. We'll be right back. Today's NBA bit is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy Sports. Whether you're drafting Luka first overall in best ball or fading Wemby blocks in the pick'ems, Underdog is where you'll find team hold. Sign up today at underdogfantasy.com or just click the link in the description to get started. And by signing up using promo code HOLD, HOLD, you will get a 100% deposit bonus match up to $100. That's a free honey. So sign up today using promo code HOLD, HOLD, and get started at underdogfantasy.com. It's a free honey, baby. All right. Speaking of underdog, I want to go show you some best ball here. So the best ball semifinals for the double dribble end on Sunday. So we've got tonight's games, Saturday's games, and Sunday's games. Only first place of my group, first of 16, advances to the finals. So we get a real sweat. Right now, we are in first place. We have, an 81-point lead? Is that right? An 81-point lead right now. All right. So here we go. This is who I've got left. So Luka, who I believe only has one game left this weekend. De'Aaron Fox, who's got a game. Now, Derek White is like the only Celtic not questionable tonight. So I love that. And then I still, Sharp, Schroeder, Bogdan. Zion, who now no Ingram. He plays tonight. And I think he plays Sunday as well. Franz Wagner, who's been pretty bad lately. Jeremy Grant has been kind of bad. And then we got Grant Williams and John Collins, obviously. And Santi Aldama, who's coming off a heater from that first game. And I do love the matchup against the Spurs. But the bread and butter is down here. Chet Holmgren and Jared Allen, who have been cooking. I think both guys have 2 games left. The good news is I think we have a real shot. Like, we look at the guy behind me. He also has Luka, has Bane, Maxey, Ivy. He also has Derek White, so that kind of cancels him out a little bit. Both Bridges bros, Michael Porter Jr., and then Cat, Allen, and Gafford. So we got a lot of blockers with these guys, right? You're going to see Luka in a lot of them. So I don't know. It's going to be pretty close, but it would be, yeah. Oh, the Mavs don't have any games, so they're done with game. I thought they had one this weekend. Oh, the Mavs are done. Damn. All right, so no more Luka, but everybody's got Luka in this range. So I would imagine from 7th on is still in it. Like, you could probably make up 200 points this weekend if you get hot. But we'll see. So hopefully, if we advance to that, then I think I mentioned this yesterday. There's 94 in the final, so we'd be guaranteed $100 with 10K up top. So pretty exciting. It'll be a fun sweat. I would like to get one lineup through to the finals. That would be fun. But let's go over to the IKB pick'ems first. Let's do this. I'm going to share. This is how we're going to build our pick'em today. I'm going to share the link again too. Listen, it's free to create an account. So if you haven't signed up for IKB yet, go do it. They're our sponsor for this week. They've got 2 different options of play right now. And they're brand new. This is like, wait, why is it saying sign up? Let's go. Hold on. Let's go to the leaderboard here. Why is it saying sign up? Hold on. Here we go. Pick'ems. So you can do pick'ems and you can also do contests as well, but they've just started the salary cap contest. And for those that haven't done it yet, they're using DraftKings pricing, but FanDuel scoring, which is pretty fun. And instead of 9 guys, you're only picking 8 guys. I think that's what it is, or 7 instead of 8, whatever. And right now it's rake free too. So they're not taking any cut off of that. I think, and people asked yesterday, how are they making money? My guess is it's from the pick'ems, which we're going to look at right now. So let's go see what we got for a pick'em here. Let's see if we can filter. So right now it's filtered by teams. We can pick games. Let's go over to New Orleans and Miami right now. I feel like we should start with this one. I don't know if you guys have any takes. All right, we got takes already. Ayton over rebounds and assists. We the people, I think you actually can do this one because it's a crypto-based one. All right. And yeah, so anyways, go create an account and links to your Coinbase too. So it's very easy. If you've ever added funds on So Rare to buy stuff, it's very similar to that. And I know a lot of people were like, oh, I probably can't play because I'm out of the country. You actually can. If you're international, you can't play. So go create an account. Let's go see. All right. So you were saying the Blazers game, right? Let's go view all 8. Let's go to Clippers in Portland. All right, so you wanted points and rebounds, is that right? Or did you say rebounds and assists? Sorry, I got to go back to the other screen. You were saying rebounds and assists. Rebounds and assists. Show more picks here. Rebounds and assists. There you go. 12. Boom. We're putting it in there. Let's go. What else you guys got for me? Jaylen Brown, 3.5 assists. I'd be open to that mainly because I think one of them probably sits. We can add Jaylen Brown to that. We can maybe he does a little bit more playmaking. I'm actually more interested in Derek White assists, if we're being honest, just because there's no Drew Holiday already, right? What are Derek White's numbers? Hold on, let's do this here. Oh, mate, they only have those two right now. All right, makes sense. Let's go to Wemby and San Antonio. I mean, Wemby and Memphis. So Wembenyama, let's see. We've got 22.5 points, 11.5 boards, 4 assists, 38.5 points, rebounds, assists, blocks 4.5. Jesus, 5.5 blocks or steals though. 5.5. That's like right around the number, right? You guys have any Wemby takes? Siakam over on boards. All right, let's go over to Indiana here. Siakam on boards, 7.5 boards. There we go. There we go. All right, so right now, 12.5 rebounds and assists over on 8 and 3.5 on JB, 7.5 on Siakam. Siakam, like, quietly been playing really, really good basketball lately. Playing really good basketball. Let's get one more in there. Anybody got one more? How about, oh yeah, I wanted to go look at Zion's points. 25.5 is too many. I actually would be more interested in assists. I wonder if he handles the ball a little bit more. What are your thoughts on 5.5 assists from Zion? Okay, there we go. 4 blunts and 3 debs. There you go. Anybody got, what do the numbers say on the Zion assists? I kind of like that. Oh, we got Jordan in the chat. Let's go. Yeah, I can check for Trey Murphy, actually. Let me check. No, just see, yeah, just CJ and let me see if we got Murphy. No Murphy yet. No Murphy yet. Zion turnover always hits. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, he had 5 last night, man. That was crazy. 3.5. Yo, Zion turnovers are wild. Can we use double? Can we use like? Oh, interesting. We'll make this entry public. Interesting. You have under on assists. Okay. I kind of like the turnovers. The turnovers is kind of fun. Nick saying LeBron over on points. What's LeBron's points at? Actually, I kind of like that. Against Philly. I kind of like that. So what do we have? LeBron over on points. Siakam over on rebounds. JB over on assists. 8 and over on rebounds and assists. Let's do the Zion turnover one too. I like that call. Because you're right. He's going to be handing the ball a little bit more. 4 turnovers feels in play. Might be wrong. Might be a little funky. Let's do it. Here we go. We'll put 10 to win 200, baby. Let's share the slip. Share the slip. Share the slip. If you guys want to follow along, go ahead and do it. And again, we this is like a fun partnership because I'm not like making sometimes when you're like, you need to sign up. I need you to spend money. I don't need you to. Just go create an account. Go create an account. It's not like an affiliate program is what I meant to say. So go create an account, make us look good. And if you want to follow along, follow along. But yeah, they also have this cool social element to it, right? Where like, so if you follow people, see how like I made a feed, like you can see other people's feeds here. Like this guy, what did he do? Fo the Money did he did Sohan over 2.5 assists and lower than 28.5 points from Tatum. So there's a real cool social element to this too that I like. And you can do the same thing for creating when you like draft lineups too. So anyways, go check that out. Go check that out. I thought there was something else I was going to say, right? Just a reminder, let's do a quick So Rare ad read. That's what I needed to do. We're going to go over to So Rare. Today's NBA Bit is brought to you by So Rare. Daily fantasy sports is annoying. Constantly paying attention to injury news, who's starting, who's sitting, and just having to remember to enter your lineups each and every day. With So Rare, you just have to enter your lineup once for each game week. And instead of having to pay an entry fee each time you enter a contest with So Rare, once you buy your cards, the tournaments are free. Each game week, you'll have a chance to win more card rewards to bolster up your roster. And this year, So Rare is introducing Cash prizes. So sign up for So Rare today using the link in the description, and they'll start you with 20 free common cards. And by using our link, once you buy 5 cards from auction, they'll give you a 6th one free. So sign up for So Rare today and see if you can take down Mike Sorarian. All right, welcome back. A couple more things and we'll wrap up. So this is how we shipped it this week. Won a few rewards. In the common pickup, we took down a tier 2. In the common no cap, we finished 342nd out of 22,000. We got a common tier 1 in that. Limited contender, we took down a tier 3. Hendricks got us to 32. Anthony Gill got us to 28. And then Santi, 58. Huge Santi performance. Kind of disappointing Laurie. Solid Hallie performance. We just missed out on limited champ. We got a limited tier 5 in the underdog, right? Spencer Dinwiddie really disappointed, but we did get monster games from McDaniels and Nikhil Alexander-Walker. And then rare contender, we finished 59th, got a tier 4 in this one. Shout out Jalen Green going for 80 and Kyrie going for 54, but Anthony Gill was the real superstar. So, and then our rare champion literally almost won, which was crazy considering my highest cap guy was DeAndre Ayton. Just wild stuff. But let's go. We'll build. We are on to game week 42, right? So let's go. Let's go build a rare contender here for what we got. I think this one's going to be a little bit tricky this game week because some of these caps have started to climb. Like Jalen Green, who is an easy play the last couple weeks, is up to 39. I will say Derek White I'm going to play if those guys get ruled out tonight. So I'm going to wait till closer to lock. But let's assume Tatum and or Brown sit. Derek White, we'll start with him. I'm going to go back to the Anthony Gilwell. He's going to cap a 5. That just gives you a little bit more breathing room. Sensabaugh is probably no longer a play anymore, but this gives us an average of 26. Let's see who else we're sitting on over here. Franz Wagner still 29, man. Just like crazy stuff from him. Trey Mann is probably somebody. I actually like Trey Mann quite a bit this game week. That's something we'll pay attention to. Nikhil Alexander-Walker's been so up and down, right? Last couple weeks, he's gone 38, 37, 15, 43, 14. They do play Cleveland and Golden State, so I don't know. It depends. I need more injury news from them. But Nikhil Alexander-Walker on the short list. Let's see. Do we have anybody else cheap down here? I don't think. We might have to buy somebody. We might have to. But let's say if we wanted to build a balanced one, right? We could start Nikhil Alexander-Walker. Kyle Lowry does have 2 games. He's been kind of consistent. But we could throw in Trey Mann and then just Franz Wagner or Bogdan Bogdanovic. Franz has been so bad lately, but at some point he's going to play well. The other thing we could do is instead of Derek White, you could go in this range of Jordan Poole, Mikal Bridges, Bradley Beal, Jabari Smith, Jonathan Kuminga. I don't know. We'll see. Let's go build the limited contender right now too. Let's see what cheapos we've got for limited contender. We can start here down towards the bottom. See what we got. Anybody super cheap that we can roll up? Bull is so weird, man. He doesn't play enough minutes to actually be useful, but when he gets out there, he does ball. He bowls out a little bit. Chris Duarte's been seeing a little bit more run lately, but I prefer not to. I do kind of like Jovic if he's going to miss more time. Sam Merrill's interesting. I don't know. Honestly, I need the projections. We'll build the lineup later. But hey, just a reminder. So on Team Hold So Rare today, we will have live before lock at 5:30 and then live after dark at 6:30. So tune into that. And then we're off to the weekend, baby. And just a reminder, too, I know we talked about this yesterday. Obviously, not financial advice. Do whatever you want. But if you're looking for an easy way to sweat some of the March Madness here, John tweeted out his Friday schedule here. Here's his Friday picks. So, I can't believe how hot he was yesterday with that. But I'll share this thread in here if that's something you're interested in. Again, not financial advice. Do whatever you want. But just crazy to see how hot he ran yesterday. But see, here we go. He's got FAU -3, Baylor -14. We've got the under of 158 for Marquette in Western Kentucky. So anyways, fun way to sweat this weekend. Sneeps is letting us know we got playback tonight at 7 o'clock for the Celtics. Celtics and Pistons. Can't wait for that one. Barn burner, baby. Barn burner. But I think that's it, guys. I think that's it. 45 minutes of fun here. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I don't think there's anything else, right? Did we plug everything? Plug everything. We can plug Armenia one more time. Look at that shirt. Shirt's fire, baby. The shirt is fire. All right, guys. Have a great weekend. We will see you for the Live Before Lock stuff. Otherwise, we'll see you on Monday. We out.